let's shift our focus to how we really take a company public. And I want to bring up Vinita Gupta because she is a Silicon Valley entrepreneur and the first Indian American woman to take her company public. She's a bridge queen. So she's won all these titles in the game of bridge. She's fantastic. She writes about what makes Silicon Valley tick, social and economic challenges of democracy, how to elevate thinking beyond the obvious. And she's going to talk today to show us how it's done. She's from India, but she's been living in Silicon Valley for 45 years. Welcome, Vinita. Now tell me, Vinita, what's your power word for the year?
What is what?
Your power word for the year, your intention for the year.
To be optimistic about.
All right. Yeah. With that, I'm turning it over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Patty, for having me. You heard a brief introduction. I am an engineer from India, a developing country, when I came here for higher studies. Then I started my own tech company, and after building it for almost 9 years, I took it public. I did not once consider that I was a woman in all-male world during this entire period of education and working and building the company. And that was 1993. Why? Because life in a startup is plenty challenging without giving yourself excuses about things you cannot change, like my ethnicity, accent, or gender. But I said I could learn and change how I made choices and compromises. Most importantly, I did not think too much about who I was. It wasn't about me, I thought, but about what I could do. And that has continued to guide me in my life forward. Today, I will tell you why going public is a big deal. What does the process entail? My aha moment, the price of going public, how to reinvent yourself, which I had to, and finally, how women and technology can continue to succeed. So why go public? Tech company founders typically are poor. Founders, the guys, the gals with an idea, but very little savings or no savings. They are prepared to work and work hard. They may also take no or very little salary, especially in the first few years. The employees they hire also understand that they must work harder than ever before, plus take shaving in their salaries. They get stock options instead. The funders, typically VCs, provide the money to fuel the growth of the company. VCs look for 3 times return on their investment, and they themselves earn a percentage of profit they make for their investors, who are called LPs, the limited partners, which include pension funds and college endowments. The good news is that founders, employees, and funders' incentives are all aligned, which is to make the startup a success. And going public is the answer to their prayers, the reward for their hard work and risks. Being public means anyone can now start buying and selling the stock of the company on an exchange. Having many more buyers means the market price of the stock is fair, the beauty of free market economics. IPO, or initial public offering, is the ultimate marketing event for a startup. Most capital raised in an IPO is to fuel the growth of the company. That is why outsiders buy its stock, so that it will go up. The process entails generating and marketing document, then a roadshow, and finally pricing, putting a price on the stock. The company first selects an investment banker, a middleman who can get the deal done. Then a document called S1 gets created by the company and a slew of lawyers. Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, a government body, wants to ensure that all risks are fully disclosed when you sell your company's stock to the potential buyers who are not savvy in technology and its risks. Then is the roadshow. The investment bankers take the CEO and the management of the company in front of large buyers of the stock. In my case, I gave them presentation and addressed their questions. It is typically a 2 week long event. I traveled first class across the country from SF to Boston, SF San Francisco, from New York to Paris. I even traveled and conquered the supersonic jet. It was luxurious travel, which I had never done before. And the last thing in the process is putting the price on the stock. The night before the IPO, the investment bankers and the company negotiate a price at which the stock will be first traded. But investment bankers buy those shares from the company the night before, and next morning they hope to sell them in the market. There is no telling whether they can do it successfully. Sometimes they may have to sell it at a lower price. Hence, pricing the stock is more of an art than science. Investment bankers get paid handsomely for this risk that they take. Then just before the first stock gets traded on the exchange, most of the exchanges are in New York, not all, a bell is rung by the CEO. The management and some employees come to the exchange to witness this historic moment. For me, the aha moment came a few months before the stock started trading. After selecting investment bankers, it was in our first all-hands meeting. It was around a teak conference room table. We did not have mahogany table. Representatives from investment bankers, venture capitalists, and their high-powered attorneys filled the room. They had their business suits and ties on, and I was a bit intimidated. But soon I felt their eyes were on me. It suddenly dawned on me that at $10 to $14 a share, I was going to be rich beyond my wildest dreams, and it will be out in the public when the S1 goes out. It was hard to contain the feelings of richness. Very human. Glad that phase passed too. But there is a price to be a public company. You quickly learn there are more short-term traders in the stock market who demand quarterly performance. If you miss a quarter because a major customer postponed buying decision or the market took a beating, the stock gets dumped. And as CEO, I had started monitoring my performance, or measuring myself, I should say, by the price of the stock. And that's pretty difficult. Going public is a start of different journey and not a destination. Isn't that true about life in general, I would think? I would experience adversity. My philosophy of life consequently evolved. When the internet bubble burst in 2000, 20 years back almost, our largest customer, WorldCom, filed for bankruptcy, and large number of small internet service providers went out of business. I would eventually have to bite my tongue, swallow my pride, and accept that after spending 20 years building a company, I may have to shut it down. But it will take me another 5 years to accept the reality. I walked in to the company every morning with my head high. After many millions of dollars, many layoffs, and wiping many tears of employees as they cleaned up their desks, I finally bit the bullet and shut the doors. A gut-wrenching experience. When you fall from such heights, nothing is consoling, but you learn to pick yourself up because you must. After several years, I would eventually manage to relaunch myself, writing on Huffington Post and playing competitive bridge. I became a national bridge champion, a toughest mind game. I also learned if you want to do something, the time is now. Action is energizing. Finally, I reflect on the topic of the day on what holds women back. It is not our capabilities or lack of intellect or lack of motivation or determination. It is about not finding cheerleaders along the way. We need fans like athletes do. We need home court advantage too. Even though the encouragement is not likely to be there for you and me, my friends, but self-fulfillment can be the ultimate reward. However, we can rally, we can clap from the sideline for generations of women to come as they reach the home stretch. Thank you.
Oh my God, Vinita. I'm so moved by your story. I just felt that door, just slam, and I'm so proud of you for all you did and that you are telling this story to us because I think each of us, we want to have this experience and many entrepreneurs long for this experience and you have it, but it really is this piece of up and down. So I thank you so much for sharing that and sharing how it was, the highs and lows. And then also, I'm so proud of you for recreating yourself because that's what life is all about. So thank you for
Exactly.
being here. Thank you.